It's easy to get overwhelmed with a long to-do list. I know I have. In this video, I'm going to share with you a very simple and easy productivity hack. You're going to learn a key technique and how you can prioritize that to-do list so that you can be able to tackle it in a much better way. But I want to start with this quote by Jessica Jackley, and she's an American businesswoman and entrepreneur. She says, "As all entrepreneurs know, you live and die by your ability to prioritize. You must focus on the most important mission-critical tasks each day and night, and then share, delegate, delay, or skip the rest." I really, really like this quote. And so with that spirit, let's go ahead and dive right into the video. My name is Yvonne, and a key goal of this channel is personal growth and really leveling up and supporting people to live a better quality of life. So if you haven't already, please join the community and subscribe. A powerful priority setting technique is one that I learned from the master, Brian Tracy. He's really known for his time management skills and tools and training. He wrote this book called Eat That Frog. And in that book, I really enjoyed this technique. I've applied it and I found it very useful for me, and I'd love to share it with you. It's called the ABC technique. And here, what you're essentially doing is taking that to-do list, and instead of saying, okay, everything's important, and we know everything is important, but it doesn't have the same priority of importance. And so we're going to tackle that to-do list by only focusing on what's absolutely a must-do first. And then we'll worry about the rest later. And so the first task is called an A task. Now, this is something that you absolutely must do. It's your must do task. And these are the type of tasks that there's some serious consequences if you don't complete it. For example, you've got to send that report out to your manager by a certain time or deadline, or you really have to meet with that key customer of yours, because that's really going to make a difference for you and your business. So these are the A type of tasks. So take a look at that to-do list and check off which ones are your absolute must, because those are your A tasks. The second kind of task is a B task, and that's the ones that you should do. Now, there are inconveniences that come along with not doing them, but you know that they're the type of things that take a second priority. So you're not going to get to your B type of goal or task, without first completing your A task. One example would be returning a phone call from a friend that called you. So you know that that's something you've got to get to, or checking your email. Okay. So these are things that, sure, they have to get done, but not doing them is an inconvenience, but these take the second level of priority. The third task is the C task. Now, this is a type of task that is a nice to do. Gee, it'd be nice if I could do, this thing, or gee, it'd be nice if I can get to this other thing. So there's no real consequences with this particular task, but it has to get done, but it doesn't really matter if you actually get to it or not, like today. So for example, it's really healthy for your relationship with your friend or with your coworker to build a network and go out to lunch from time to time. And so this is something that'll be nice. It'd be nice to get together and connect with a good friend that you haven't maybe met and are connected in a while, or a coworker, or maybe something in the business that you want to add in a particular area. a segment you want to maybe update and enhance. And so this is not mission critical, okay? Nothing is particularly broken. That would certainly be an A kind of a task. But this one, she would be nice if this particular product included this additional feature. It may allow us to be able to market it better. So these are the types of things that certainly can be worked on, but definitely take third place in terms of priority. Now, the D type of task is the kind of task that can be delegated. It's not something that you particularly necessarily have to get done. And the D is for delegate. There is a quote by Richard Branson that I like how he just kind of phrases this and frames it for us. He says, if you really want to grow as an entrepreneur, you've got to learn to delegate. And that is so true. So we all need to delegate and develop these habits, because that's really going to support us to be able to free up more of our time and get more done. So for example, in my business, I pretty much learned how to do everything. I had to do all areas of the business. And once I got really good at the details and the additional items that I need to do, for instance, I learned how to develop a website. Now, as my business grew and I started getting into other areas, I knew that that's something that I can easily delegate. I can delegate for someone to build my websites for me. And so I went and I did that. Also, sure, I can put together the course material in terms of the book structure. But I delegated that creation of that because I knew that I own the creative element and the content, but the time, and I just kind of put it into a wireframe and I kind of do a mock-up. But the details and putting it together and making that mock-up into the final product, that's certainly something that I knew that I can easily delegate so that I can focus more on my time on the things that I can't. For instance, building customer relationships and making sales. And so you've got to really think about what are the different areas of the business. For instance, the back office, right? The accounting, or maybe the marketing, or even in the product service. What are the things that you can actually delegate? And which are the tasks that you absolutely should do? So as you look through your to-do list, kind of think about that. And that doesn't necessarily mean just in your professional life, but also in your personal life. Take a look at your personal life, because there may be things that you can delegate there that'll free up your time to focus on your most important business areas. So for example, if you're still cleaning your house, that's all well and good, but in my particular situation, I said, why don't I leave that to the experts? I can use those 4 hours of cleaning the whole house more productively by spending it with my family, for example. And even, using that time for business building or working on a project or something like that. And so I leave the house cleaning, for instance, to the experts. And so that might be something that you think about. How can you free up your time? Maybe for you, that's landscaping or some other thing that you can kind of identify and get that support that you need. Now, the E type of task is the last task here that we're prioritizing. And this is something that you can actually eliminate. And what a relief when you can just scratch that off because it's no longer relevant to you. You see, sometimes these tasks linger and they're no longer relevant or necessary for us. We've outgrown them or we've moved on. There's a quote by Steve Jobs that's very applicable here. He says, deciding what not to do is just as important as deciding what to do. So you're going to get a lot more control over your time once you decide to eliminate those things that are not adding value and refocusing your time to the value added activities. So this is really going to support you and make a big difference in your life. In conclusion, the way we use our time is ultimately going to dictate how successful we will ultimately be. So our ability to prioritize our tasks is really going to make a big difference in our life. So what we want to do is have a clear plan of action and go ahead and execute against that. So at the end of the day, you have your to-do list, you've prioritized it using the ABC method, and off you go. You're able to sleep on it, and the next day, take a look at it, review your tasks, and go ahead and focus on those 8 tasks. Knock those out before you continue on to the others. And I'd love to hear how successful you are in applying this. Try it for a week. See what difference it can do. And I'm excited to hear the results. So I want to share with you that I've put together a goal mastery program that's really going to support you in moving towards your goals and staying focused and what really matters. Okay. And so I encourage you to click on the link in the description box below to go ahead and enroll to your goal mastery program. This is where we're going to support you in identifying your vision, your mission, your values, and also the action steps to support you in getting there. And if you like this video, you enjoyed the content, click on the like button to show your support. I'd really appreciate it. And also subscribe so you're notified on new videos. And I'll see you on the next one.